Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, 16 August. Good afternoon to all of y'all. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you guys are working hard to achieve your goals. Hope you guys are doing very well. Just hope to spread some positive energy for you guys from the footballing fraternity. Igama lami uBubesi. On Instagram, you can catch me as uBubesi Umphathi Umhlaba. With Twitter, you can check my Twitter account as Bubesi_11. Welcome to Athlete's Voice, where we discuss all sporting content, everything with regards to sports, from soccer, rugby, cricket, golf, swimming, and many more. Today we will be discussing the Dstv Premiership, as we saw two games that took place yesterday, which was Tuesday, the 15th of August. The first being at the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium in Pretoria. It was a game that took place between defending DStv Premiership champions Mamelodi Sundowns taking on Abafana Bestende, Lamontville Golden Arrows. It was a completely dominant display from the Brazilians as expected, as they went on to win 4-0 by 4-0, thanks to a brace by Lesiba William Nku, thanks to Peter Shalulile getting his second league goal of the season, as well as defender Grant Kekana. My analysis of the game, of course, it was a pretty much dominant display from Mamelodi Sundowns as expected. We did expect that. There was no real fight from Golden Arrows. Golden Arrows nowadays is far from that team that we saw that won the 2009 MTN 8 tournament, where they trashed Ajax Cape Town 6-0. This is far from that team. Over the years, we haven't seen much from Golden Arrows. We haven't seen the same Golden Arrows that we saw all those years ago. A team that always wanted to compete, a team that wanted to challenge for titles, a team that wanted to challenge for milestones, to reach achievements, and etc. And they were far from that, as we saw the Brazilians were all over them. They put on a complete dominant display. The first goal came in the first half thanks to Peter Shalulile, which was from a corner kick, and it was headed back into the box, and Peter Shalulile, with a wonderful turn, netted for his second league goal of the season. His other league goal, of course, came on the opening day in the 2-1 victory against Sekhukhune United at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. The second goal was indeed scored by Lesiba Nku, who made it 2-0, thanks to a brilliant cross from Neo Mayema, which set him up for the second goal. The third goal came, of course, in halftime. By halftime, the game was long sealed, which was 3-0, thanks to defender Grant Kekana. And obviously, early in the second half, Lesiba Nku, thanks to great work by Neo Mayema, who created an opportunity, took a shot, which was saved by the goalkeeper, and then on the rebound, Lesiba Nku completed his brace to make it 4 to Mamelodi Sundowns. It could have been worse. It could have been 6, 7, 8, 9-0. Or perhaps maybe it could have been 6-0 because Sundowns had 2 goals that were disallowed. The first one was from Grant Kekana. It was a good goal that he scored. Unfortunately, it was an offside. As well as Peter Shalulile had a goal disallowed because of an offside. So the game could have been pretty much worse, but it was a great display by Mamelodi Sundowns, which takes them to 9 points as they maintain their 100% record for the 2023-2024 league season. In the other game, we saw that took place at Gqeberha at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It was a game that took place between Chippa United and Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates coming from a fresh 5-0 victory over Sekhukhune United, as well as Orlando Pirates having a pretty much decent season so far after scoring 9 goals in 2 games, which says a lot, which actually sends out a statement to the rest of the PSL teams. Of course, they were hoping to replicate that form going into yesterday's game against the Chile Boys, Gqeberha, and it didn't turn out to be, but of course they did put out a complete dominant display, of course, as having 52% of the ball, but then we did see in the second half Chippa did show some signs of wanting to win the game. I guess even Chipper could have won the game in the last minute had Augustine Molenga squared the ball. As he took a run, had he squared the ball, it would have been a simple tap in for the other Chipper player that was making a run. Well, it goes back to the decision making of the Chipper players, the decision making, which is what we often tend to criticize most players in the PSL for. Their decision making is very poor. Because which Chipper could have had 3 points. It could have been their first win of the season. It would have been their first win of the season, but I guess they still have 3 points from 3 games. They are yet to lose a game this season. They've drawn all their games so far. The first being against Kaizer Chiefs, the second being against Sekhukhune United. Then now they drew. The second being against TS Galaxy. TS Galaxy, I meant to say, which was 0-0. Both games were 0-0, plus this one was a 1-1 draw. So, Goodman Musele scored their first goal of the season, which took them a long time. Of course, we saw Orlando Pirates taking the lead in the first half thanks to some great work from Monapuli Saleng and Katleho Mufukeng, who set up Bandile Shandu, which was the change for Orlando Pirates going into the game, as he did start ahead of the much preferred first choice right back, Tabo Monyani. Bandile Shandu did relish his opportunity. He took great advantage of the opportunity that he was given as he put the ball in the back of the net, and you could see in terms of his celebration how much that goal meant to him. Pirates did have more opportunities, as we also saw in the early minutes of the game. Undlondlo had a shot from range which was saved by the Chipper United goalkeeper, and the equalizing goal obviously came in the 65th minute thanks to former Orlando Pirates midfielder and former Baroka FC midfielder Goodman Musele with a wonderful turn and slotting the ball, swerving it straight into the bottom corner of the Orlando Pirates goal, which was a brilliant goal from the former Buccaneer, and we could see he did demonstrate that in his celebration, as after netting that equalizing goal, he did not celebrate at all. Well, that's the wrap-up for yesterday's game, and today there's a game that takes place at the Peter Mokaba Stadium between Sekhukhune United, who will take on Moroka Swallows at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. Both teams will be eager to bounce back following their exits from the MTN 8, especially Sekhukhune United following that trashing defeat, that hammering defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Orlando Stadium, as well as Moroka Swallows falling short to Mamelodi Sundowns, which is pretty much understandable due to the fact that they were down to 10 men against Mamelodi Sundowns. So both teams will be hoping to bounce back, but more especially Moroka Swallows, because Moroka Swallows haven't won a game so far this season. The first game they drew 1-1 against Golden Arrows in Durban, and then the second game they were defeated by Cape Town City at the Dobsonville Stadium 1-0, as well as they were defeated in the cup game against Mamelodi Sundowns at the Lucas Masterpieces Murepe Stadium. So obviously Moroka Swallows would like to grab their first 3 points of the season, and which will indeed boost their confidence, which will also give Steve Kompela his first win at the helm of the Dube Birds, and hopefully it will set a tone for their season. Hopefully Moroka Swallows, after the momentum that they carried by finishing in the top 8, it will play a major role in terms of their season. Maybe they might finish further than that with all the players that they have, the experience and the young, exciting talents that they have in their squad, considering the fact that Andile Jali also, Dumisani Zuma, Kabetino Mango, etc. Going into today's game, we hope to see more of Kabetino Mango, and unfortunately Moroka Swallows will be without their talismanic captain Andile Jali, as due to the fact that he was sent off against Mamelodi Sundowns over the weekend. So they will be without Jali in their midfield, which hopefully won't actually affect their gameplay for today's encounter against Sekhukhune. Hopefully Moroka Swallows does have quality too that will trouble the Sekhukhune United team, and hopefully they will also capitalize on Sekhukhune's defensive woes, and hopefully Sekhukhune can also bounce back from their defeat to the Morocco Swallows' crosstown rivals Orlando Pirates, and maybe they can bounce back from that. For more sporting content, for more details, for more as we continue to build this community, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll be in touch very soon. Cheers.
From Rulani Mokoena this season is going to keep the opponents guessing. He's made a total of 4 changes from the team that booked a place in the next round of the Cup competition after beating Swallows. Rivaldo Kutsia returns from suspension and back to lead the attack is Peter Shalulile, looking to add to his already 1 goal this season, which he scored in the opening game of the season. Changes on the bench as well. Get some lineup. They've also made some changes from that win. Brandon Theron should add into something interesting here. He's been included in the starting lineup. Makes his debut, of course, for Lamontville Golden Arrows. And Mr. Arrows himself, Ntutuzo Sbeya, Lamontville's finest. He gets a start for the first time this season. And the other change to the lineup is Lungelo Dube, who also see that not a surprise. That Sundowns I've got something to show for the going to be doing a lot of chasing as the opposition of the ball here. Very hard to work without the ball.
You need to stay as compact as possible when you're playing against Mamelodi Sundowns. Block the passing lanes, look after the half spaces.
Shalulile is in here. What a tackle, what a challenge. That is a very, and again going to the back peg there. Zwane cushioning it back. Shalulile! Didn't take him long, did it? Doesn't even bother celebrating. It's all in the day's work. Peter Shalulile. 2nd goal of the season. And it comes in his 3rd start in the Dstv Premiership.
12 goals in the league last season, 23 in all competition. Peter Shalulile gets goal number 2 this season, and number 9 goal. Anything that will drop in the penalty box, he'll react the quickest.
Off the shoulder of the defender, Peter Shalulile. Look at all this. It just looks like a training ground. This is like a training session. Ayende thought about pulling the trigger. Mayema might, and it's 2-0. It's too easy. 20 minutes gone. 2-0. Lisibangu is up and running. He joins in the party. Watenga.
Zwane with the flick. He's a lander trying to win the ball back as quick as possible. He persists, he insists, and that ball from Mayema, the cut back, that flick coming from Nku.
Oh, beautiful touch. I wish we could have a look at it, actually. Just take it back.
Mamelodi Sundowns. That's a trend that we have worked out and seen over the past few seasons.
And a glancing header from... Oh, no one picking up. So now Grant gets his goal. Not to be denied. Grant Kekana. Glancing header, attacking the near post. No one goes.
Who needs to mend that near post? He makes that run into the near post. Good delivery coming from Alende once again. He just needed to redirect it.
Oh, and when caught in possession here, could be problems there. Nku went for power. Drilled it with Terence Mashiro, who very nearly introduced himself. Changes something had to give the players.
They are 3-0 ahead as you see Mayema on the attack.
Watenga drops it. And Nku helps himself to a brace. Nothing sheepish about that performance this evening. And they're not booing him. They're saying Nku. 2 goals in his first start in the Dstv Premiership for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Neo Mayema in the pockets. He turns. He has a shot. A parry from Watenga. He brings it back into play. But